Hey there, it's Duke. Welcome to the kitchen. It's not too often you see me in here. I wanted to share with you something that I do as a little evening snack for my dogs or for board and trains. There's a toy that I use. It's made by Starmark. They have a lot of different toys, but for some of the big chewers or the big dogs that we have come in, this is called the Everlasting Treat Wheeler. All right, and basically it's a dog toy. It comes with inserts that you can buy and you can put in them, and the dogs pop them out and chew them up really well. But there's something I will do with their food. I do all kinds of raw feeding, and I'm always switching things, changing things around. So I just wanted to share with you one of the things that I do to give them a very nutritious end of the day kind of snack. All right, treat, keeps them busy in their kennels when they're done. So what I do is I will take beef or chicken or whatever the protein, could be beaver, duck, you name it. This is just strictly beef patties right here. We got a couple of them now, so it is a meal also. But when you're feeding raw and you do a lot of training throughout the day, this is one thing that you can do to finalize the day or whatever. When it's the end of the day, you're gonna go in the crate. So I have the beef here, and then what I do, believe it or not, I'll take just a little tiny bit of veg. Right, this is Brussels sprout, and I'll smush that all in there. And I will also add, because when I travel, I do blend raw, and I do blend what I use is hurrah. So this is, it's a freeze-dried dog food. All right, this one's the fish type. So I'll put a little bit of hurrah in there as well. So I mix it up in there. So it's not too drastic, just meat only. One of the things I love, I've been feeding supplementations for years from XDOG. This one's True Best in Show. Multivitamin. I add 2 of those for the bigger dogs. I'm just going to chunk this up because it's going to go into 2 of the treat wheelers. I have 2 of them here that I stuff and I freeze. And this just gives them something to gnaw at. So I'll break this all up, the vitamins. And then what I'll do, and this will actually give me a lot more than I'll be able to stuff in there. And I can feed, this is actually one of my board and trains, his meals, or the rest of his meal, and I'll be freezing some of it and I'll be giving him some of it. So now what I'll do, I like to have very healthy dogs, very fit dogs. I also use the supplementation. Since we're running and exercising a lot, I'll add extra calories. There's a product, True Satin Ball. I'll leave a link in the description below somewhere for all this stuff. I'll put a scoop there. And then there's formula mass. So basically there's protein and fats I put in here, a little bit of muscle builder. All right, so we'll jack it all up. And then depending on the dog, sometimes what I'll put is the Flex Canine. So it's joints, it's good for their joints and all that. Just a little bit of that, okay? Make a big mess. That's my favorite thing to do in the kitchen, mess. So then basically when I have all this, I have a little bit of veg. You can put anything healthy you want in there, really. This is just one thing that I have here, and then there's the beef. So I'm gonna mix it all up. You can use rubber gloves if you want to, or a spoon or a spatula. So when I'm done, okay, now I'll train throughout the day. This is mushy and it's hard to, you don't wanna be reaching in your pouch. There are other ways that I will train with this stuff throughout the day. What I'll do is I'll thaw it out and I'll roll it into little chunks, okay? And you can do that, and you only have a small window of feeding. But for this video, it's just basically, I'm gonna take now the supplementation and all this real healthy blob of yumminess, goodness, and I'm gonna just fill and stuff the wheeler, okay? I'll jam it in there. And the good thing is, I'm not sure if you can see, come around in here. Inside, and this is pretty hardcore chewer, I don't think it's indestructible, but see inside there's rings. You can actually put a treat on one side. There's inserts you can buy, all right? What I'm doing here is way healthier, a little bit more work. So I'll jam it all in there, and then I'll freeze it for both of them. So basically, I get everything stuffed in there, and I'll put that in a deep freeze, and it'll be solid. And then at the end of the day, it's not a lot of meat, but it is still part of their meal. And after they're all satisfied and they're ready to go down, they can chew on this, and I freeze it. So it's completely frozen. Some dogs it takes like 20, 30 minutes. Some dogs it takes like 2 minutes. So I don't know on the dog, it depends how big and monstrous they are. So I'm just gonna stuff this other one. All right, we love playing with our food. Now, those are 2 big treat wheelers of yumminess for later on this evening. And then what we'll do is we'll bring Roland over. Roland, do you want to come and get the rest? So you can see why I'm freezing the treat wheelers, the black tires. They're tough for dogs that like to chew. He's not really a hardcore chewer, right? But we'll let him lick the bowl when he's done here. All right, they usually work for everything. But what I'll do is I'll put it in the freezer now and give it to them later. And that's one simple thing out of many things I do just to give dogs something to chew on at the end of the day when they're going down for bed. Okay, so now, frozen solid, a bunch of chewy yumminess for the dogs. So if you do feed raw, that can be also something they can look forward to at the end of your session as a jackpot, or something when you put them in the kennel to keep them occupied. Some dogs it takes 2 minutes, and some dogs it takes half an hour, with my experience. And dogs that don't really like to get into the tire, I call it the tire chew, they tend to like it in time. They tend to go to toys more than they normally would. So that's a good thing as well. I just thought you might like that tip. As always, if you'd like more training and coaching, I have a couple of videos on this page. One is my free video series you can sign up for. You get 6 videos. One will be sent to you every single day for 6 days. It gives you a pretty good foundation on the science and nature of how I train. If you'd like coaching or training, then go to dukeferguson.com or unleashpotential.ca and find out all of the ways that we can serve and support you and your dog.